How's it going?
I'm okay.
The wrong question to ask at the beginning of a show. I know I'm tired, and I just kind of have a chill session today. Just like,
Well, we picked the right game for it.
I have a very weak cocktail at the ready.
Nice. I have stone cold coffee. Ice cold. Wonderful. All right. Well, I guess let's just talk about what happened last time. Because it's been like a month, right? It's been a month? 4 weeks? Yep.
Yeah.
So, does anybody remember what happened last time?
We planted trees.
Yes?
We
what
met
was that?
plant trees.
Big mushrooms.
Yep,
Yeah,
big
we were
mushrooms.
psychically assaulted by those guys.
It was an assault.
It would probably feel like it.
I mean, if somebody enters your mind without permission, would that be considered assault?
I think so.
Yes.
I think so.
I think that'd be
100%.
morally incorrect, but then again, it's kind of a weird situation when with
That's
psychic
how you
powers.
talk. Yeah, it's
Right.
like that's the only way you can communicate. Like, what do you do? I guess you could like knock on the door of someone's mind. May I come in? I should have done that. I didn't think about it. Yes, yes.
It's okay.
Vampire myconids. So yeah, there was planting trees, mushrooms. Was that all you did?
We forgot to do
Probably.
XP. That's something that we did.
Oh, we should do your XP. Thank you, Brandon. So yeah, top of the show. Forgot to do XP last time.
Not much happened in terms of
Yeah, I
what
don't
got
think
triggered.
you guys did.
We traveled.
You traveled, so you should get XP for traveling, at least.
I don't think we stabbed anything.
No, you did not do any stabbing. So your train level target number was 10, so you get 200 XP. I don't think I used a benediction either.
Anyway, just wanted to mention
Yes,
that.
thank you,
Yeah, I
Brandon.
don't think you did
Yeah,
either.
you guys need that XP, so 200 for everybody. So I think I'm gonna do this. For today, I'll just cast the Tale of Kindness. PCs who help others expecting no gain or reward can raise their spirit score by 1 level for the rest of the session. And because we only have an hour and a half sessions, I'll say it'll go to next session if it comes up in a situation where you don't get to use your spirit. Okay?
So not to be a shit, but now that you've told us you cast that benediction,
It's to your own benefit.
yeah, but I mean, like, are we doing it without? I guess our characters would be doing something nice without expected gain.
Yes.
Our players are like, give me that spirit.
So think about it this way. Like, when I cast stuff, I do tell you guys because it's a role play trigger. Like, it gives you the opportunity to utilize that to your benefit and create a story. So yeah, of course, it's like, I'm casting this out of character, all of you guys know, so that way if an opportunity comes up where it makes sense for your character, and you should exploit that. That's there for that reason.
And the Ryujin is encouraging us to be extra nice, so we feel
Yes.
friendlier than normal.
Yes.
I'll never use this.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Did Ulfred have any notes from last time?
Plenty.
Oh boy, let's hear them.
I think it was like 2.5 pages.
Okay, let's get the Cliff Notes version.
See what I can do.
Wow.
The gnome Chestnut stresses a balance, says that the land is changing and new creatures are showing up. Everybody planted trees.
I think for me specifically, did the Myconids, when you talked to them, tell you anything about what the problem was?
I think they did, but I
I
don't
think
remember
they
what
did.
it was.
Was it not giant moles?
Okay,
I think so. Something
that
like
sounds
that.
right.
That's what
Might-
they were guessing, yeah.
Yeah, they were guessing that.
Since the things can read minds, it got toward the end. And Pico's final thought was, I'm glad there's a mystery and we can still hang out.
No, I didn't. I don't think I said that.
You didn't say
You
it.
didn't
You said
say
it
it.
in your head.
Thought it.
You thought it.
That's really it. Ulfred's
Okay.
bad at planting trees.
I think Pico got a rainbow badge. That's a Rhapsody
Right.
Road badge.
Yeah, traded it with some rotten mashed potatoes
Yes, you did.
because they're
Okay.
fungus.
All right. And I think you
Right.
guys, on that note, we're heading back to the Gnome Nursery with Tansy. So we'll go ahead and just start. So yeah, you're walking back with Tansy's like, we will bring this information to Chestnut and she will know what to do. And off you march, and you end back up at the Gnome Nursery, and Tansy will run into the building, come back out with Chestnut, and Chestnut greets you. So I heard you did a good job with the planting. And Tansy goes, mediocre at best. Okay, Tansy, yes, they did a good job helping you with planting, helping us with planting trees. Thank you so much. So what did you guys find out?
We found that there might be moles
Moles?
or something.
From who again?
There was walking mushrooms.
Oh, okay.
They seem to be agreeable. We made a connection with them, and we kind of made I think we made an agreement with them. They're like,
blood pact?
Not really a blood pact, but like we kind of came to like, we were like telling them the situation. They're like, oh, our bad. You know, it's like,
Okay. So they didn't know what they were doing,
Yes.
destroying our trees.
yes, because they were trampling over saplings, I believe it was the thing they were doing. They're like, because of the way they walk and they just smothered the saplings and they didn't realize it. And that's Musashi literally going,
Musashi literally goes,
kind of like, you know, like a computer that just kind of like blue screen for a second.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. What else to tell you?
Okay, so we've got mushrooms. Tansy says that they seem to be amicable, that they'll stay in the forest, and they're aware now of us planting. So that's good. That's good. Anything else of note? You said moles, perhaps?
Perhaps.
Moles. Well, and she seems to be thinking, like trying to put pieces together. She's like, it's very strange that they would be near a river, potentially. I mean, grubs and wood, and then she looks like she's like, oh, well, so obviously we're not messing with the beaver's wood supply, and neither are the Nakidads, obviously. So I think there is a type of semi-aquatic large mole that exists, but they usually live in swamps, but they do eat grubs and rot and decaying matter from wood. So I bet that's it.
Weird. Aquatic moles.
Aquatic moles.
Is that even a mole anymore?
Yeah, I don't know what you would call it.
Soggy mole.
Soggy mole? Is that the name you call it?
I like it.
Soggy
that gets a
mole.
thumbs up. The soggy moles.
Have any of you heard of a soggy mole before?
Can't say that I have.
Sounds like a euphemism, but no, I
Yeah,
have not.
I know.
I've heard of a soggy vole before, but
Not
never
a mole.
soggy
We're
mole.
not too far off in difference. Well, these moles, I can't really remember their like their actual name, but
Succubus moleness.
soggy. But if memory serves me, they shouldn't be very hard to deal with. You said that the myconids were here because of what reason again?
They're migrating because they're being forced out of their territory by something? I don't know.
The place that they were leaving is desiccated. I was wondering if you knew anything about a place like that.
Desiccated Okay, well, I know that there has been some strange things happening. Like, first off, myconids, like, again, like I said, even with these moles, like, they're usually in swamps, so I don't know why they're here. They're not native to our area. This is the first time we've seen these giant moles. And Tansy goes, yeah, they're huge! And the moles, too, it seems very strange. Did they say what direction they were coming from?
Did they?
Where their home was located? If you want to make up, I think it was probably north or east.
North or east?
North or east or west. We'll
How
say
much
west.
further northeast can we get?
Not much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
was
think
gonna
it's
say,
probably west.
like,
If I didn't say west last time, it's west now.
Okay.
Well, there are
yeah.
swampy
sure?
areas out towards the west. And if the myconids are coming from the west, then maybe these soggy moles are coming from the west too. Something, maybe the beavers are right. Maybe something is off balance.
Pico will say, you mentioned these moles aren't hard to deal with, so how do you deal with them?
Well, I mean, they're usually pretty docile, even though they are fairly large and out of character. Yeah, I want to make somebody roll for like knowledge or something. Like, I'm thinking Francis, maybe. Do you think Francis ever like came across large moles in his time in the forests?
It's possible.
If not, Ulfred might have heard a story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
either between the
and-
two of you, I think you guys can piece together, like as she keeps talking about what they are, what they look like, you'll know. So a knowledge check.
Int spirit.
I think so.
Knowledge of tradition for me is int.
Okay, then you for you int. I think you for what would you use? What makes sense for you, Francis? Int spirit.
Probably int spirit because it's
Okay.
more of like an instinct thing than like
Okay.
book learning.
Okay, then go ahead, please roll.
10.
I got a 5.
10.
Okay, so Francis
Kristen
has
got a
never been
10?
in a swamp.
Neither has Ulfred.
Yeah, but Alfred, you're a wolf of learned nature, so you've read, and you remember a magazine that you were reading called
Mud Affairs.
Mud Affairs. Okay, that's a great one. Yeah, you had picked up a copy of Mud Affairs, and in it was talking about. Again, I don't have a name for these moles, so if you have a good actual name for these moles, please. You can't remember the name exactly, but you do know that
Yeah,
they
what-
are large.
Why did
And
they need
by
a different
large-
name? They're soggy moles.
Okay,
That's
Soggy.
the-
It says the actual name, but then in parentheses, AKA colloquially known as soggy moles. They are they can be up to 4 meters long. That's huge.
Jesus.
Like 12 feet.
Yeah.
And they live underground usually and in swampy areas. So they don't breathe underwater. It's just that they like being near water.
Okay, so they're giant beavers.
I mean, they could be cousins of the beavers, but they do live underground. So they are not underground, not in water huts like a beaver. And that they are black and silver, and they have to eat their weight in food every day or they'll die.
Jeez,
Oh, Jesus, that's rough.
that's a lot
Yeah.
of pressure.
These fucking herbivores, man.
I'm pretty
Wait,
sure the most
moles are omnivores. Don't they
Yeah,
eat like
and
bugs
so they
and
eat
stuff?
these moles primarily eat grubs and like decaying matter.
There were hella grubs in that hole.
Yep.
How long has this been issue going on? Because let me tell you, this would be no longer timber cliff. This would be like sewage cliff because they're like the amount they eat and the amount they put out would be ridiculous.
The mushrooms had only been here a week.
Yeah, so it had been
Okay.
traveling for a week and had been moving around
So-
for a week or so.
okay.
So were they trying to stop from being eaten by those things?
Maybe that's
mean-
part of it.
I would
Yeah.
think if they're 12 meters long, then they're like 100 pounds a meter. So like at least like 1,200
up
pounds.
to 4 meters long. Not necessarily all of these moles
They're all
get to be
they're all
all-
4 meters
They're
long.
all for
exactly
Yeah, from birth.
from nub to nub.
So
They're
like they're eating like entire ass trees at a time. Or wait, do they eat the trees? Or do they just eat all the shit that's underneath the trees?
I probably didn't say this last time, but we'll flashback as you're remembering the scene around and the hole with the grub. There was a lot of wood matter, but yeah, it looked like a lot of wood matter. So I think you could put together that then, and even with Ulfred's knowledge of it, they don't eat actual tree. It's more like
My God, how
the
much
grubs.
how
What?
many grub? They eat like literal half a ton of grubs a day.
yeah.
All the
Oh,
trees are getting
That's-
ripped up for toothpicks. That's what it is.
unsustainable, and these creatures should be extinct.
yeah.
I'm not saying that somebody should extinct
This
them. I'm
is-
saying that the amount of grubs they have to eat per day is
You're not-
ridiculous.
You're not saying somebody should extinct them, but
Yeah.
if they got extincted, it would probably be fine for Mother
Just because of
Nature.
their own diet.
Passively homicidal.
So that's what Ulfred gleans, and I'm sure Ulfred will tell you guys. Remember.
So does that mean the morally kind thing to do is to kill these godforsaken monstrosities?
Are
I'm
you
pretty sure
asking
also-
are you asking the group or out of
I'm-
character, in character?
Out of character, I'm asking the group. Francis will cry like a baby if he has to club a baby mole to death.
Ulfred would be very extremely morally opposed to this, to them being extincted.
That's fair.
That's fair. I don't know what to do with them though. Like,
Well, I mean, and so
okay, out of Musashi
Okay.
has zero thought on it. Period. Like he's just like, okay.
His head is already at the lighthouse.
But out of character, I'm like, I don't know what the population rate of these things is, but the fact that they have to eat their own weight every day or else they'll die. It's like eventually like the amount of like how much they eat would be like ridiculous, especially if it got out of control. Like the land they came from was desiccated, and it could be their fault. I don't know, speculation. So it's like eventually like the entire rest of the loam would become desiccated if it kept up and they kept multiplying at a whatever rate they do. Who knows? I guess we'll uncover the situation as we continue on, but yeah, it's like I don't think we should wipe them out unless it's like a problem, like legit future problem that we could foresee, but no, whatever.
We don't have to see that far ahead. They're already causing problems.
Yeah, I know, but like if they're like with the case of the mushrooms and we can reason with them or whatever.
Alfred would walk away if you guys wanted to kill them all. Like he won't do it.
I don't think that's where we're going.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think there's something going on that's making this happen in a more extreme way than it usually does with these
Right,
creatures.
like
He is curious of like, is there something that we can do about it?
Okay.
Some sort of fruit of dreams, or I don't know, something demagicify them.
So Chestnut, I'm assuming some of this has come out as your characters around Chestnut, and Chestnut will say, I guess the first root of the problem is figure out how many there are. You're saying they could possibly eat a ton of food a day, and this has been happening for maybe the last week or so. And we could ask Chuck, Chuck Beaver, how much wood is gone and like kind of estimate, and we could probably figure out from how much wood that's been missing how many moles there are. And if there is a few, maybe we could figure out a way to trap them and maybe hold them or place them someplace else and find somebody else to do that. A team of who could handle this, like actual like environmentalist people or something. But I think that's the first root of the problem, it sounds like, right? They all shrug.
Yeah.
I mean, we recognize that things are out of balance, so it's a matter of finding out the math behind that.
Putting weight on the other side of the scale in some way.
You got to identify the problem.
Well, let's go talk to Chuck, and I can also explain that we haven't been doing anything too. Like, we're obviously not having problems. Are you guys okay with me now cutting the scene? Okay. So, well, I'll cut the scene. You guys are now at Timbercliff with Chestnut and the four of you, and you're talking with Chuck, and basically we come in while Chestnut is saying, so we've been investigating you to make sure that you are seeing how much you guys have been taking, because there's been so much wood that you're taking. And obviously we're not taking this. And we blah, 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 blah. Mushrooms told us, blah, 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 blah. The soggy moles problem. And then Chuck will go, okay, thanks for coming and talking to me. And I can tell you that the math checks out to be about 2 days worth of food every day, if you will think about what like is being taken potentially, if you're thinking of like weight matter. And then also he's like, maybe we shouldn't have been preparing so much, because maybe leaving that many logs out there gives opportunity for more grubs. Like he's like grasping at straws with you guys, like maybe the grubs are more like reproductive here, and there's more grubs, and maybe that's what brought them. So our bad.
Why, you didn't think piling up a bunch of logs would create a new environment?
Look, we were just trying to prepare for what we feel is the end of times.
Okay.
Not to be too dramatic.
What's more dramatic than the end of times?
Wow, Chuck. He's ready for doom.
Like Y2K.
The world is ending. We can all feel it.
We can
All
all
right, Chuck.
agree.
That obviously something is wrong with loam. We've got desiccated lands and mushrooms and moles, and who knows what else can happen.
How wildly unhinged does he look while he's talking about this?
His
Does he look-
toupee starts to slide off his head.
Does he look like a fanatic who like truly believes in this crap? And he's like got like his. You say his toupee's messed up, but does he also have like a disheveled shirt?
Yes, and
his
he's smoking
tie's
a
all-
cigarette.
Looks like a
Sweating.
conspiracy
Aviators are
theorist,
halfway off his face.
Is he a flat loamer?
He's got a gun now for some reason.
He's
All
sweating
right.
profusely.
Is he a flat loamer? Yeah, he's like, there's no curve.
We just noticed the corkboard. Excuse me.
Corkboard, yeah. behind-
Corkboard on the wall that's got like all the red strings and whatever and stuff. We're like,
Like,
oh, we didn't
basically,
even
when
notice
you
that.
guys-
Murder board.
When you guys
Yeah, we
last
should have
saw
investigated
him,
that.
he seemed like a legit businessman, but now, like, he's let the. It's been one day. It's been
He
one
turned on
night.
the radio for one day and now he's radicalized.
Yeah.
They're poisoning the water.
I knew it had to happen eventually. We had to ruin it.
Yeah,
All right,
so he's
Soggy.
like, the
It's
world's
interesting.
ending. We're gonna stockpile wood. That was their response. Yeah, cut
He's
down
got
leeches.
buckets of food.
So we got a mole problem we gotta take care of.
So what, you
We're
think
not
2
stopping what
moles?
we're going to do. We're gonna continue preparing for the end of the world.
Yeah.
Okay, well, aside from all that, you said it was about 2 moles?
Yes,
All
the
right.
math checks out to 2 moles.
I don't actually trust this math anymore. I did going into this, not anymore.
As you like look at
That's-
the board.
That's fair. As the
All
more
right.
longer he talks, the more unhinged he seems.
Yep.
Well, I think we can figure out maybe this is probably within our grasp, being able to figure out what's up with these 2 moles. There's something driving them to be, I don't know, greedy. These greedy, soggy moles.
Greedy moles.
Are they sentient?
I was just going to ask, would we be able to talk to them? If we were to catch up with one somehow.
So we've talked before, like there's sentient beings and animals on Loam, and then there's like obviously just like bluebirds and other animals. These seem to be just straight up large moles.
Okay. How do you convince a mole to not eat everything? Do you club it?
Just relocate it. That's all
How do
we
you
gotta
how do you relocate a mole that weighs more than all of us combined?
do. It's an
Relocate its
animal.
food source.
It's-
The
it's kinda
woods?
like-
The grubs?
Mhm.
Oh, I guess we could maybe lure it out.
Musashi's like clapping his hands. He goes, you do this. Come here. Come here.
That's how it works for him.
works. It
Yeah.
usually works.
String a grub to a stick and then just, I don't know, move out of the swamp. Build an underground mole
mean,
fence.
It sounds better to me than having to get rid of these little giant guys. Watch we run into them and they're terrifying. They're absolutely terrifying.
They look like those one moles. They're like,
It's
they
like
almost look like their face has been met with the blast of some kind. Where you know what I'm talking about? The ones
The
that have
star
like, the star
nose?
shape or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh,
and you,
yeah.
like- and you look
Yeah.
at it and you have to like do a double take to make sure you know what you're looking at. You're like, what is that?
it's like a star-nosed mole, except it's the size of a goddamn grizzly bear and a half.
Yeah, and it's got like I don't know aquatic features of some kind. I'm pretty sure it's
So
got
he's
like
got
webbed
he's
got
toes and
he's
stuff.
got flippers
claws.
and like this is basically a giant platypus.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Oh my god! If it lays eggs, that's the
Oh.
weird.
Uh-oh.
What if it's
Oh,
got a poison
jeez.
spike?
Oh,
God.
shit.
Poison spike. Yeah.
Oh, geez, man.
It's true. We didn't consider a platypus. It could still be a platypus. A soggy platypus.
Well, the thing needs to eat every day a lot. So I mean, these
It's
things
a
shouldn't be
dire
It
platypus.
shouldn't be hard to find, is what I'm saying. But it should be pretty easy to find these things, in my
I
opinion.
would agree, especially since we know what like food it's looking for
Mhm.
now.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's in the swamps to the west. So we got everything we need, I think.
is it in the swamps or is it from the swamps?
I mean, where else are you going to be soggy except in a swamp?
I feel like it's an invasive species. Is that it's like migrated?
Should we?
That's what you understand, yes.
Should
Yeah.
we make some kind of preparations? Like, what do you think we would need, though? Like, I mean, we're talking about grubs on a stick, which could work. Who knows?
the sheer vast amount of like food these guys eat, like we need a
It
couple
would take
burlap
barrels.
sacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take barrels, yeah. So we'll have to go grub collecting. You guys want to go harvest some grubs then and get them in a barrel?
I think at the time it would take us to harvest the grubs, they would eat the rest of the forest.
So if you're looking and
Chestnut?
you're talking, Chestnut will, well, I can always have some of the gnomes volunteer. There's hundreds of us.
To be eaten?
No, not to be a good time. We're not grubs.
Yeah.
What is
Come here, gnomes, get in this barrel and just be quiet for a bit.
roleplay? This is a great
Ferment
tactic.
the barrel for me.
Gnomes get in the barrel and pretend to be grubs. It's like, oh, we're grubs.
Future.
No,
Exactly.
don't. No, we can help collect the grubs.
Okay,
Oh.
that sounds much better.
That sounds more reasonable.
Yeah,
What?
I don't want you guys to die, so that sounds good.
What do we know about the fishing industry in Timbercliff? Could that be part of the solution?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could always go to the bait shop. I don't have it on the Amber doesn't have it on the map. Let's make one up.
It is a river.
Yeah, there'd be fishing.
Yeah.
Bill's Baits.
Bill's
Baits. The Grub House.
the grub house is
Oh.
good.
The grub house is good.
Literally, there's a place called the Grub House. Why hasn't that been attacked?
Yeah.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
I'm
Maybe they don't want to
imagining.
go in the town.
Yeah.
I'm imagining it as a restaurant like Bubba Gump Shrimps, except it also
Mhm.
sells bait.
Oh my god. Yep.
So yeah, like a grub based. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So Chestnut will say, "I'll have Tansy lead a task force of grub collecting out in the woods. You could also try the Grub House run by Norton." And yeah, if that's the first part of your plan, we can start getting that going.
This sounds disgusting.
All right.
Thank
She's
you.
off and she goes, and before she leaves, she's like, I'm very interested in this mole problem. So anything that you guys find, let me know. I want to hear about it. And then she's off. All right. So you make your way to the Grub House.
You didn't think that was going to go this direction?
No, so let's see where that should go. It's obviously going to be on the river. So we'll say it's not too actually far from the Timberwheel, just up, like maybe in between where the Timberwheel is and the Gnome Nursery. It looks like there's a large part of the building that looks, it all looks like old shack material with like a tin roof. And there's obviously a bigger part, which is the restaurant that has a food board outside, but right tacked on next to it is a smaller little building. It's like one says grub for you and one's like grub for fishing or something. I don't know. It's terrible. And
Grub for you, grub for the line.
Yes, there you go. Grub for you, grub for the hook. You make your way into the bait shop one. And I'm trying to draw from my time when I used to go fishing. So of course there's a wall with a bunch of like rods and reels and tackle and stuff. And then there's like plots of like earth inside with like little boxes next to it. Like it looks like the exact same takeout boxes that you would get if you ate at the restaurant. But next to the bait area, there's also a tub of water. It's like minnows and all that's hand signs put into these containers. And behind the counter is a very large beaver man wearing overalls and has a straw hat on. Welcome to the Grub House. How can I help you?
Let's see.
All four of you stand there awkwardly for
Yeah.
at least 2 seconds.
Yeah,
We need
Francis.
a few
Alfred's writing.
grubs.
Francis has his head in one of the dirt.
Whoa
barrels.
there, buddy. Hold on. That's not for you.
He pulls out. There's clearly a worm slithering into his mouth.
That's going to be at least a currency that I will come up with later.
Well, have I got a deal for you? Wood is getting all eaten up, right? This is your chance to save the town. Can you donate 3,000 grubs to our cause?
3,000 grubs? That's going to be like my entire
Pounds.
stock.
Pounds of grub.
3,000 grubs is not a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it was like, you said about 400 pounds per, so 8 to 1,000 pounds of grubs. Just a small order of.
How much do you have in stock at once?
I'm still assuming that these moles are like top end, like 1,200 pounds.
Yeah, you're just budgeting high.
Yeah.
We are getting help from the gnomes too, so we don't have to get the full amount here, but yeah, I have no idea how much.
Anything will help.
That seems like a lot. That's a lot. Oh my grub. That would be all my grubs.
Yeah, we need 2 moles worth.
They're large moles.
This is for fishing.
We're going fishing for moles.
Okay.
What does Norton look like again?
He is a very large beaver man wearing overalls. I think he has
And a straw hat,
a straw hat, very prominent front teeth.
like you do.
And I don't know. It's like, what's a beaver look like? You know?
All right, fair enough.
So do you want him to look funky?
No, that's good.
You want to have an eye patch? Because I'll give him an eye patch.
No, he's good. I just
Are you sure?
Yeah.
2 eye patches?
I want him to have an eye patch from like a really cool fishing story.
Is this not a good enough beaver for you, Chris? Do I have to like give him gold-plated teeth too? Jeez.
wow. Okay.
Peg leg and a peg tail.
Okay, so that's what he looks like. And you were asking, yeah, that would be all my grubs. And fishing for a mole? What are you talking about?
There'll be more grubs in the future. They'll come back. We need these these grubs. Lots of them.
That's like half of my entire business. Like you can't just donate
Well, here's this.
X
Get
number
this.
of grubs for your cause for free.
If you don't, you won't have a business anymore. So really, you're saving money by giving us all of these grubs.
You're
I
gonna
don't
have to
think
roll
Pico should
something,
be. Yeah, I
Pico.
don't think Pico should be the one to negotiate this.
You're negotiating
Yeah.
it, Pico.
All right, here we go. What do you want me to roll?
Well, there is actually a negotiation roll. I will look for it here in my handy dandy book. In spirit.
My best and my worst. 8.
No.
I flash my rainbow badge and I say, "Well, how about this? Does this help the negotiations at all? Look how many colors are on this badge. There's 7 of them."
Actually, you know what? When he sees that, his eyes light up a little bit. I mean, that's not quite the cost of what I would charge you for my grubs, but it would help.
Why
does
does
that mean
this
it's
intrigue you?
close? Does that mean it's almost there? This badge, is he saying that it's like almost
How much is
enough?
this thing worth?
Yeah, now Pico's
he
like,
doesn't say
maybe I
anything.
shouldn't. What does this mean to you? Huh?
I mean, you know how Rhapsody Road's badges are. They got some good benefits.
Tell me about this one. I need to know so I can evaluate its worth.
I want to roll insight to make sure he's telling the truth about it too.
Okay, sure. I think I'm going to ask you guys' help for this thing. What do you think this rainbow badge will do? For me, what's going on in my mind with it is that it is like a special badge that you get from Rhapsody Roads, from like being a higher up adventurer. I think it probably gives you a lot of free like lifetime benefits.
Yeah.
When you get to
room
the
and
last
board
track.
but like room and board and towns that have Rhapsody Roads and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's like free lifetime room and board, but also like special special discount stuff, like things like they have newsletters that go out that give you like insider tips of like deals and things like that. So he goes, oh, it's just a very good Rhapsody Road badge that, all of them have special benefits and perks, and this one is just the one I would really like.
Pico has trapped himself. He has shown his card before.
Well, he didn't know.
Yeah. So now he's kind of stuck with this deal.
Can you tell us what it is about the badge you're interested in? What is it that it will do for you?
I mean, would you roll? Did you roll something? Oh, you're waiting for me to talk
I
about
am.
it. Okay. All right. So he'll go, just like, beaver things, things only beavers would like, wood discounts on lumbers and the best times to get the grubs, just things specifically that would be helpful to beavers.
14.
Oh, he is lying.
Okay.
So bad. Like the worst. He's not good at it.
Pico just looks at the badge and looks at what he just said. Is like, this is a rainbow. There's no wood on here. Why would this be for beavers and wood?
Trees are part of the natural cycle of rain. They collect the dew and raindrops and grow from it. The feeds back into the cycle.
I'd like to talk to you about trees for a moment.
I was actually going to say real quick, I feel like this would be something Musashi's familiar with, considering that the person he was a bodyguard for was a merchant and they dealt with a lot of these
Right.
things. He probably has ran into an adventurer who got some services from his master that had that badge, so he probably knows what it is and what it does or what it's supposed to signify. That be fair, Amber?
Yeah, I think
if
that's
I
fair
say that?
in
And
role
I think
playing.
Musashi kind of like casually drops what it does. Like he just says, "Oh, I know what that is. That lets you get like special services via Rhapsody Roads." I almost said Rainbow Roads.
See?
But yeah, he just casually drops that and just says that.
It's like getting a
Now
Delta
it's public
Sky Member
information.
Diamond Platinum Clear card.
Yeah, it
kind of
also
situation.
allows you to get some expenses covered by Rhapsody Roads and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, like if you're like traveling and you need a place to stay and you find the right establishment, you can stay there they'll cover the expenses.
They'll cover your expenses and they'll probably do repairs on your stuff
Mhm.
and give you certain resources that you might need.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now it's public information to our group, right?
So yeah, you just go, that's a Rhapsody Roads rainbow badge. You're
Yeah.
a certain adventurer at a certain level. You get special perks such as free room and board and repairs and sometimes special discounts on
And
specialty
you
goods.
get access to the bulk store where you can buy the items.
Ah,
in bulk.
yeah, you get
like
to
a
go.
certain
Costco.
man named Greg's Club or something. I don't.
You get to buy things wholesale
Yeah, exactly.
at a
that too.
certain level, a certain
Yeah.
amount. Yeah.
And now Pico is really kicking his own tail because he's really mad about putting this up for the negotiation, but he's trapped now. So
I mean, Ulfred can try to talk him out of it.
I think he feels like kind of a pressure in a way.
He's going to double down.
Yeah, so Pico's going to go, well, out of the kindness of my heart, I will donate this badge to you for the cause of Timbercliff. Timbercliff, is that the town we're in?
Yes.
Yes.
This is town,
Yes. This magnificent town.
This
I
town
will graciously donate this to you for your grubs, your tons and tons of grubs.
It was like, no. Oh no. Okay.
Okay. The Tale of Kindness. So you can raise your spirit score.
Hell yeah. Now I got a D6.
Okay. He'll go, all right. You can have all my grubs. And he holds out his paw, shaking.
I give him the badge, but I have like the tiniest, my little claw is just hanging on to like the last thread. Just
Yeah.
like hold on to it.
Thank you. Enjoy your
You're
grubs.
welcome. And Pico goes off to cry.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for listening. If you've been enjoying Shapeshift, please leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. It really does help the show out. Also, I want to read them. I do check to see if we get any new ones, and there hasn't been any for a while. So please, if you have some time, leave a rating and a review. Shapeshift is a part of the Geek Spectrum Network, where I host and co-host a lot of other cool shows. For example, in some big news, we have a new show coming to the network, a TTRPG talk show called Tabletop Babble. It used to be ran and hosted by James Introcaso of the Don't Split the Podcast Network, and he passed the reins on to me as he pursues other projects and endeavors. The first episode airs on November 2nd. Also, please check out The Warren of Petal Grove, a game and show that I'm currently running that's set on Loam. Prepare for crossover events at some point. You can get information about the Geekspective shows by either following the Geekspective Twitter, that's at Geekspective, or going to the website at geekspective.com. And you can find me on Twitter either at RocketOrca or at ShapeshiftCast. This episode was edited by Rudy Basso. You can find him on Twitter at Rudy Basso. That's RUDYBASSO. Thanks, Rudy.